took it upon himself to think it was, verse him or whatever the case may be. But then another tee on Vando after a block shot, and the game was just weird as hell after that moment.
You mentioned that the ref seems to take it personal when Luka said what he said to a fan. Did it start to seem to feel personal with you guys? Because, like you said, Vando got the tee, Luka obviously had the second tee, and then just some weird.
Yeah, the game was kind of, this is a playoff. We both teams knew that this was going to be a playoff type atmosphere, playoff type competition, playoff type feeling, and it just got weird. The game got weird after that.
LeBron, if you zoom out a bit and just consider these two games, are you encouraged with the overall performance against obviously an excellent team in OKC and what that tells you?
About losing?
No, encouraged about your perspectives moving forward as a team.
Still got more work. Still 3 games left. We got a lot of work to do still.
So essentially, we got to win 2 of the 3 to secure the number 3 seed. Are you still just worrying about Dallas though for right now?
Yeah, of course. That's always the motto. We had our opportunities tonight. They played exceptionally well. Tip your hat. They shot the ball extremely well. Now our focus on Dallas.
LeBron, what's the best way to deal with a team that's very physical? You guys shot 15, 16 more free throws than them, but felt like there were still more out there. Maybe
there were.
How do you deal with that?
You match physicality with physicality. That's it. We did that tonight. They shot the ball extremely well. Like I said, you tip your hat to them.
You guys go to Dallas now tomorrow. You're one of the few people in the world who knows a little bit what it's like to go back to a place where you've done something special. What's it going to be like for Luka?
Well, his situation is going to be totally different than mine. I think he'll get a standing ovation, and people will clap and cheer, and he'll hear his name a lot. That's what I'm expecting. My situation was totally different. He had no choice in the matter of what happened in his situation. I did. So it'd be totally different.
As a team, what do you guys want to do for him to support him through the emotion of that?
Oh, whatever he needs. I think winning will be the best solution.
December 2nd, 2010, that was unique compared to all these return games.
Say that again, I'm sorry?
December 2nd, 2010, unique compared to other return games. But you have been a part of the 80s first game back in New Orleans, etc. What does it do for a team that's still coming together to all get behind the new player when you have this type of game on the calendar tomorrow?
I think it's very important. It's camaraderie. It's holding each other down, and whenever we face anything. And I think tomorrow's gonna be a lot of emotions going through Luka. Both the interior and the exterior, and it's our job just to do our job. If we do our job out on the floor, then we'll help them tremendously.
James, I know we've talked a couple times about this as of late as we see kind of LeBron James ramping up each time. Tonight he plays 35 minutes, 28 points, 8 of 19. So the efficiency is back, 3 for 6 from 3. Got to the free throw line 10 times, made 9 of them.
Yeah, it's especially been more efficient with, I think Rob said this a few months ago, that LeBron didn't need to handle the ball in the fourth quarter. Let somebody else handle it. He gets tired. And I think the last, few weeks since Luka has arrived, he's benefited a lot from that because he doesn't have to handle the ball. He's scoring a lot from off the ball, back doors and things of that nature. And then when he gets to, opportunity to go one-on-one or handle the ball, he's a little bit fresher. So I just think that, LeBron's, efficiency continues to, to grow. And I think with Luka and AR also handling the ball, it's taking a little bit of pressure off of him, and he's able to perform even better over a long period of time over the game.
I always talk about when LeBron depletes his battery, he's not as effective as he can be. With Luka handling the ball, AR handling the ball, his battery is almost like 70, 80% all the time. You think about him being at 40 and playing so many games that sometimes, that charge can go down. But I think right now, he's really charged up. And you think about tonight's game, he's going up against the youngest team in basketball. And he's getting up and down the floor with these guys. He didn't look fatigued at all because you always look at LeBron's body language and see if he's bending over or he's one of those times where he's grabbing towels and sweating a lot. But he wasn't like that. He was engaged his whole game. He looked like he was ready and he was in playoff mode.
Rob, what was that stat you had last week? Which college starting 5 is older than OKC starting 5?
It was Auburn.
It was Auburn. I mean, that says it all right there. The youth of this OKC starting five. It's crazy. If you think about it, their oldest player is what, Caruso? He's 31. He comes off the bench. I mean, this team is going to try to run you off the court. And they certainly did not the other night, losing to the Lakers by 27. And it was right there for the taking for the Lakers again. 7.5, just over 7.5 minutes left to play tonight. So LeBron, 2 for 7 in the first half, 4 turnovers. Definitely bounced back pretty well from that second half heat. I was impressed.
But back-to-back tomorrow in Dallas. Luka heading back to familiar territory. You got Houston at Crypto.com Arena on Friday, and then rounding out the season in Portland on Sunday. So, guys, 4 games left. We kind of talked about at the start of the show. A lot of people wondering if the Lakers would play all their guys, and as we know, they are, minus that of Rui. I know you're excited about it. Rob, I'll start with you. How good can this be from a standpoint of chemistry? This is something they talked a lot about continuing to build that.
You must have been on the same wavelength as me, because that's why I'm
look at us go.
When the Twin Powers go. For me, I just think it's you still building that chemistry, because guys have been in and out of the lineup. You still trying to learn how Luka. Think about it. Luka's bag is so big that you have to learn how to put. What is he doing? I know people watch him a lot, but when being on the court with him is a different story. And think about LeBron. LeBron has, he's trying to figure out still, where do I take over? Where do I rest? Of course, AR, he's still doing his thing. There's still a lot of work to be done. It's not like this team had a training camp together. They figured it out on the fly. For me, all these games are ways to get better. It's about preparing for the future. And you don't take, we got a time to take off. Yeah, if you take off, at least play the first half or the second half. That way you still get some reps in. And it's just like practice, because we know in practice, you think about in practice, you look down the Laker bench, you like, you got 2 guys where they can really guard these guys. Now you look on this OKC team, this is a great defensive team. So this is a way to work on your execution and get better.
Yeah, I agree. When you're going into the playoffs, there's no time for rest. Your rest is going to come after the playoffs. May, June, people take a break, all-star break, whatever, load management throughout the season. But now you want to be geared up, and you want to be in sync with one another, hopefully have everybody healthy. And, I could see how Coach Redick is thinking. Look, we need to get 2, out of 4. Let's get them. Let's get them. Let's go ahead and get them early. So, yeah, I think you don't have any rest time now. They probably have that week off when the play-in games come, but that's going to be used for some really good practice time. And you're not going to have those game situations. You got 4 more games to get that game situation practice. So it's valuable time.
Rez, I'm going to take you one step further, because I know Big Game was looking forward to this at the top of the show. When you look at the standings, in case you're just joining us, obviously a lot of jockeying going on for position in the Western Conference right now. Not necessarily the standings, but these teams in general. What is standing out to you, especially 4 through 8?
Yeah, a lot of those teams are actually playing each other over these final 6 days of the regular season. There's some teams where you look at them and you say, okay, like the Clippers towards the bottom of your screen. San Antonio, that's a dead team. They're out in the playoffs no matter what. Houston, they've locked up second place pretty much, so they're going to be chilling. Sacramento, they're in the 9 or 10. And Golden State, okay, they could be playing for something. So the Clippers actually have a pretty easy road. And then you look at the Timberwolves, starts off tough, at Milwaukee, at Memphis, and then you're kind of cruising once you get home against Brooklyn and Utah. Again, 2 teams that don't care. If you were to say to me, like, all right, who's got the most challenging? Probably the Rockets up at the top with the Clippers, Lakers, and Denver. But the Rockets, they're already kind of in chill mode. I mean, they're going to be the 2nd seed, and it's just a really interesting grab bag. I don't remember 4 teams tied 5 through 8 this late in the season. They all have identical 46 and 32 marks. It's going to be a wild rest of this week. It's going to be fun. And if the Lakers could just stay above the fray, and tonight if they win, that's a nice step towards that. That'd be a huge step in the right direction.
Brez. I think Brez gets the most improved in the shoe game too, man. He's most improved in the shoe game.
Yeah. I'm trying to stay up with you guys.
You don't know shoes right quick, man. You coordinate. You got to coordinate. Yeah, look at that.
Yeah,
get that little red stripe, and then look at the pocket tie. The red stripe on the sneakers and the red stripe in the pocket tie.
Try to step it up a little bit.
Coordinating the tie matches the socks. You got to coordinate.
I don't think
you know what that is?
Details.
Well done, Russ.
I don't think he picks any of it out himself, though. But
It's that's a lot of help.
As if things couldn't get any more wild in the Western Conference, how about this? Elsewhere, the Denver Nuggets have moved on from head.
Xin chào tất cả mọi người đã quay trở lại với kênh của mình. Ngày hôm nay mình sẽ tiếp tục hướng dẫn các làm vòng. Vòng hôm nay của mình sẽ có tiêu đề là thân mía. Mọi người, hôm nay vòng của mình sẽ có tiêu đề là nước mía. Bây giờ mình bắt đầu làm nha.